What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you. Another one. The Night of the Seven Kingdoms is off to a great start. Episode 3 trailer breakdown. We will go through everything that we see in this trailer. I will give you all my thoughts and my opinions and any Easter eggs that I do spot. Do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get to 500 likes for this and subscribe to the channel for more Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Let's do this.
Good night. Stay in as your squire after the tournament. Come on!
The squire must be strong.
Move!
The trailer starts off with Duncan and Egg living the good life. We know that they're used to eating salted beef, but right now they got some eggs, they got a little bacon, could be a little pork on the side right now. They're doing good. It must be from the money that they spent to sell the horse, so this does come at a cost. And while they are sitting there, we hear Egg tell Dunk that he wants to stay on, even when this tournament is over, as his squire. And Dunk is trying to explain to him exactly what being a good squire means. You have to be strong. You have to be able to handle yourself. Which comes back to episode 2 when Egg told Dunk that people thought in his family that he wasn't frail, that he wasn't able to handle himself, that he was not going to be strong enough, right? So the family he comes from, that's what they focus on. They focus more on strength than actual knowledge, and that's what Egg possesses. And the fact that Dunk been through this in a different way, we can see that Dunk is going to allow him to stay on as a squire.
Oh, I'm Egg. I can't even drink a pint of ale.
Yeah, because it's disgusting.
Oh, it's not disgusting.
It's disgusting.
In the next part of the trailer, we see the friendship growing between them, the banter back and forth, and we also see the uppity nature of Egg. He cannot drink beer. Why? All that we've seen in this show so far is the hired people. They drink wine. They always want wine. No one ever wants beer. They want wine. So this shows that he is more than what he seems to be at this time. We also see a jousting situation, and this has been the best jousting stuff that I've seen any movie or show so far this season. And from the look on Egg's face, it seems like whoever loses this, it is 100% an upset. They did not expect this to happen. And that is what we need to see with Dunk, because every time Dunk wins, it's going to be an upset.
Have you chosen an opponent yet?
I suppose Arryn and I are quite equally matched.
In the next part, we see Dunk having a conversation, and he needs to choose an opponent for him to fight. He needs to find someone who he believes he could beat, because if he loses everything. So he has to win right off the bat, and he chooses, listen, the Crown Prince, right? He chooses Arryn Targaryen, who is also known as Bright Flame, and this is a guy who believes that he is a dragon reborn into human skin, and he is just a cruel person for this show. Obviously, we have seen the arrogance of him and the little bit that we have seen of him so far. This is a very bold move for Dunk to pick him, but he feels from what he has seen that they are equally skilled. The guy is pretty small and Dunk is pretty big, so you think that even if the guy has a little bit more skill than him, that the size difference, the weight difference, that Dunk can deliver that lance faster and harder than this guy should be able to do so. But to pick a Crown Prince is very risky, because you don't want to hurt a Crown Prince, even if it's in a jousting tournament.
Arryn's vain and cruel. The Targaryens are tyrants who burned our lands, enslaved our people. They're incestuous aliens, Duncan.
As we watch Arryn Targaryen doing his jousting thing, this is juxtaposed on the banter between Dunk and his boy, and the guy is telling him straight up that although these Targaryens are worshipped, and that people do look up to them because they're kings, what did they really do? They conquered this land. They did that with what? With dragons. And we can see that right now, that since they do not have dragons, they do not command the same respect. And not everybody is enamored with these Targaryens. They say they robbed their lands. They've enslaved their people. That they are incestual bastards. And we know that that's what they do. All these things are against the Great Seven religion that most people follow in the Seven Kingdoms. So they do not agree with their lifestyle, but for some reason they are able to maintain power. Before, it was because of the dragons, but right now it's through political affiliation. But it's just showing you that not everybody sees them as the great people that they try to pretend to be. We then get a shot of the King's Guard. It looks like they're coming to the rescue. Now, this could either be somebody who has jumped on there, started a brawl, or it could be part of a melee, part of the tournament. We'll have to see. We then see Lady Gwyn, who appears to be in some disarray of what they see. Now, we see that right here that it is Egg rushing with a lance. So we see Dunk about to joust. It does believe he is doing his job. I most likely would think that he has broken all of his lances and he needs one more lance, and Egg has coming to the rescue. He's found that lance. He's ran back to get it because he knew this was going to happen. They have probably broken 5, 6 lances on each other, and now he's down to his last one. Egg goes to retrieve it. After this, we see another portrayal of what I believe is the same play that we have already seen of Serwyn of the Mirror Shield. Then we see everybody's favorite Baratheon just living life to the fullest as always. We could say that this is a victory celebration, but the man seems to celebrate at anything. So we can't just say that, but I would think it's some type of victory celebration for Dunk or himself.
The dragon don't never lose.
Fetch my armor.
When he says the dragon must never lose, I don't think he's just talking about tournaments. I think he means in life, that they cannot lose. They are the winners no matter what that they do. They will always come out on top because they're dragons and they're House Targaryen, and the man is this arrogant. Then we see Dunk say, fetch my armor, like, all right, let's fight this guy, right? Now, it could be that, or it could also be that he has found out the identity of Egg, and Egg is up in the tree, scared that once he does find out this identity of him, he's not going to want to work with him anymore. He'll be afraid to work with him. And then he's like, well, fetch my armor. I'm going to treat you the same way I've always been treating you. You're going to be my squire, despite who you are. Who do you think Egg is?
Now?
Aye, now.
That is the trailer, and I think the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is doing very well so far. Again, we're trying to figure out if HBO can do a show like this without the budget, right? That's what HBO wants to do. That's the purpose of this show. Can we still get Game of Thrones fans to come and commit if we don't have to spend millions on each episode on CGI? Does it only survive because of the dragons, or can we do something else? Can we make a more funny show? And the thing that I think that this show does good is that even though it's set in Westeros, it feels like a brand new show, you know, and that's what a spinoff needs to do. I think the problem with House of the Dragon is that they went too far leaning into Game of Thrones and trying to be Game of Thrones. I like this because they show different outfits, that the people have different style changes, and it seems in House of the Dragon they're wearing the exact same clothes they did while they were in Game of Thrones, which is over 200 years ago. Styles changed. They should not be wearing the same exact thing. I think that they're doing a good job at that. Now, the only problem I would have with this show is that when I watch 30-minute episodes, it makes me feel like this is a more binge-worthy show. I would rather be able to binge this show since it is so short. But you tell me in the comment section what you think. Would you rather this be a binge show, or do you like the way just having the 30 minutes and waiting every week for it? I know that we all want things quick, but I do think that if this show was binged, it might be better. And if that is the case, Netflix does now own HBO, WB. I think that next season that we will get binge shows if they take that over. Not by next season, but by 3 seasons from now when the deal is actually done. It'll just be a straight binge. You'll get the full drop one shot. And that's the way it's going to be. It's not going to be a week by week. Now, I think week by week is good because when you do that, you get to generate more conversations about the show. You get to have the show, get the water cooler talk and everything else. So I want that. I'd rather have that. But I think for a 30-minute show that, you know, this is not the days of Frasier and Cheers and all those shows like that. When you have a 30-minute show, I think that it's going to be best as a binge drop. And I think that's what HBO is going to see when they see this. They're going to just say, all right, this is a good binge drop show. And we'll do this every year because it can't be a lot to make this show. I mean, especially when dealing with the special effects, which there really isn't that many. I'm sure that the jousts are very challenging, but that's not what it is with Duncan Egg as the story goes off. This is just one story of them. It's not going to be always a knight and a joust and all that stuff. They're more like, I would say, Kung Fu or the A-Team, and they go from town to town solving different problems. So it won't be the same thing every time. It will be a different problem that they go to while they explore the Seven Kingdoms together. But again, you let me know how you feel. I think they're doing a great job, and I love the show so far. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.